888-1043. The question is, who needs to be better? Who needs to step up? You can talk about maybe a position group, an individual player, a coach, if you so choose, but who needs to step up over the final 4 games to ensure that the Denver Broncos make the playoffs? And I think there are a few different lanes that you can pick here, and we can go through all of these, but let's start with Bo Nix. Does Bo have to actually be better in the final 4 for them to make the playoffs?
Well, yes. The answer is yes. Bo Nix, to start this win streak, which I believe the number would be 8. To win the Super Bowl, you got to win 8 in a row. Now, you don't have to win the first 4 in a row, but you got to win the last 4 in a row. Why not start now? And if you're the Denver Broncos, this Colts game is a playoff game. The Chargers game is a playoff game. The Bengals game is a playoff game. And Kansas City, probably not playing for anything, probably not a playoff game, but it'll have that sort of feel. And it'll be in the throwbacks, and it'll be at home. So, yes, Bo Nix needs to be better. Now, how can he be better? It's actually the people around him to help him out and to be more efficient. One of the things that we saw against the Browns, and I guess maybe this is why Shelby Harris hates him, putting words in his mouth. Shelby Harris didn't totally praise at the feet and the altar of Bo Nix, is because he was inefficient against the Browns. He made the plays when you needed him to, but there were a lot of, the drop passes, missed opportunities, missed throws from Bo Nix. So be a little bit more efficient. But to me, brother, that has to do with the players around him more so than Bo.
Okay. Yeah, I think Bo can be a little better. Kind of along the same lines that you're talking about. His feet have settled down. His ability to understand the speed or closing speed of a defender has gotten a ton better over the last really 6, 7, 8 weeks. But he can be better. He can be better with pre-snap stuff. He's pretty good at putting the ball where the guys need it. But, if I want to nitpick, like, hey, right shoulder pad, because that's where the receiver is running towards, and it doesn't slow him down a half a second or 0.25 seconds. Those little things he can be better at. And, why wouldn't we believe? I keep referencing Andrew Mason's piece last week on denversports.com, and Mace always does good work, but this was outstanding of going from what it was at camp, then what it was in September, then now what it's been in October, November, and as we get into December. It's the struggle, improve, and excel written form, but Mace did such a good job laying it out. Now, he gets better week by week, drive by drive. What does it look like after January 4th or 5th when they play that final regular season game? How much better will he be even then than he is right now?
I don't think that you're out of bounds nitpicking. One, I don't think you're nitpicking. But two,
I think Bo would tell you the same exact thing.
And Bo Nix is not satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important thing. That's the largest takeaway. Jamal Murray is satisfied. He's satisfied with what he's done. I've won a championship. I got paid. He's satisfied. He's full. He's pushing back from the table. Bo Nix is sliding up on that buffet like, didn't you just take a round? Yeah, I'm going back for more.
Yeah.
It's called seconds, girl. And that's what Bo Nix is. He's not satisfied. Bo Nix is his number one critic. And not in a bad way of like, I suck or whatever. He's his number one critic because he knows he hasn't played a perfect game. We haven't seen the best from Bo Nix. We don't even know what the ceiling is. Not at all. The ceiling could be out of this world with Bo Nix. Now, it needs better talent around him. You need to run the damn ball. That's how Bo Nix is better. And how does that help? Because it's the declaration of influence. This whole game is built on that. I'm going to influence you. If Audric Estime is pounding the rock up the gut, you can't stop Audric Estime. You know what's going to happen? You're going to treat him like Ashton Genty. Genty? Did I get that right, Drew? Genty. I've been saying Genty the whole time. Anyway,
I didn't hear you say anything.
Whatever. You're going to put 8 in the box. Put 8 in the box, Bo's going to kill you. I dare you to stack the box to stuff the run. Bo Nix will kill you. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to happen. But it only can happen if you're running the ball. The Jaleel stuff is cute. Cute doesn't work in the playoffs. You got to smash mouth, run the ball down someone's throat. And I wish we could play the quote. We'll play what we can of Marshawn talking about running through a blankety-blanker's face.
Over and over and over and.
That's what you do. That's what you do. That's what postseason football is about. You can't be cute in the playoffs. You got to be nasty. You got to be mean. You got to get angry, Patches O'Houlihan.
You got to be a real son of a you-know-what. You know what I mean? Like, you really got to get after it.
Yeah.
Speaking of running backs, I think that's the next question of we both believe, and I think if you have working eyeballs and an active brain, you know Bo Nix has gotten better and better over the course of this season. What about running backs, though, as you go there? It's, again, you mentioned Jaleel. Javonte seems to always be in the mix of the conversation for who knows why. Audric Estime's talked about but not seen in action. So talk about guys stepping up. All right, we know the running back room has to step up, but how? By committee? Give 15 carries to Jaleel. Give 15 carries to Javonte, who showed with that kind of workload I can get 60 to 70 yards. Or is it actually time to let Audric Estime be RB1?
Yeah, and I would say, to quote an old book, that was then, this is now.
Mm-hmm.
That was then, this is now. Javonte's not Javonte what he was. Bo Nix isn't what he was in week 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Bo Nix is better. Javonte isn't what Javonte was in week 6 or 7 or 8. Javonte's worse.
Yeah.
Javonte's, get over a yard a carry. Get over negative yards per carry. How about that? So it is time, in fact, past time. And if we look at some of the changes, bye weeks equal changes. Changes and improvement equal surprising people. Nobody expects the Broncos to make a deep postseason run. But what if they did? The only formula for that to happen is Audric Estime to get uncorked and unleash hell. And that hell is, well, the Fighting Irish. Unleash hell with that Catholic. Yeah. Unleash hell with Audric Estime. That's what you should do. And for the people out there, don't at me, bro. Like you said, Audric Estime. Yeah, if he fumbles again, I don't want him touching the ball. That's just the God's honest truth. Mm-hmm. So I don't even care if it's Tyler Bidet, who we talked about and told you on this show he might be the secret weapon for this team in the postseason. But you had better start running the ball because that just makes Bo Nix more efficient. It sets up play action passing. It influences the defense to play you differently. And if you're playing this team differently, drop 8, Bo's going to slice you up underneath. Rush 5, 6, Bo's going to kill you with the blitz. Like, if you can run the ball, it's such a huge missing piece that people don't even know they're missing it right now. The Broncos are winning. They're 8-5. Yeah, they're not running the ball.
That you just said it, though. That's exactly right. They're winning games with their franchise quarterback that we've been so desperate to see in this city for so long that you just sweep that underneath the rug.
Yeah.
But it's going to rear its ugly head at some point, and you've said it a bunch. You're absolutely right. It is the postseason where you will need it the most.
What happens when you can't close a game? Let's say you go to Arrowhead in the divisional round because they'll get the first spot. Mm-hmm. So you go to Arrowhead, it's divisional round. You had just beaten Houston or whatever. You've got momentum. You're in Arrowhead, and you've got the lead, and it's the fourth quarter, and you can't grind out the clock. Slow down when you say that. You can't grind out the clock. If that happens and you lose because you can't run, it's a sin. It's a sin that you aren't firing up the ground game now. I know Sean Payton wants to run. He wants to throw the ball. He's the smartest guy in the room. Just ask him. And he discovered electricity. But Sean, you know this because you've won a Super Bowl. You have to have the element of balance, or at least the illusion of balance.
Like the Buffaloes had.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And you got to run the ball to do that. And if you can do that, then watch out.
Couple texters are letting us know who needs to step up. Both of these texts that I'm highlighting here are on the defensive side. Texter from the 720-936 says VJ is the one that needs to step up as the play caller. And then Jonathan Cooper says, a texter, Lucas, says he needs to step up this second half. Otherwise, Benito will be isolated on the edge.
A lot of what Jonathan Cooper does is stuff you won't see in the stat sheet. So I'll go at Lucas just a little bit and say, like, Coop's doing Coop things. Mm-hmm. It's just Benito. And part of that, and I've always said this, I even said it to Derek. I probably made him mad because, well, he was always mad. But I told Derek Wolf one time, I was like, Vaughn owes you money, man. Because there were sacks that Vaughn got because of Derek's effort. Now, Vaughn's great Vaughn, but they'd run stunts in games. It's opposite sides, but there's pressure that Cooper creates that runs people right into Benito.
Yep.
So Benito gets all the love. And again, Lucas, thanks for listening to the best sports talk show in Denver. Thank you. We appreciate you. What up, Lucas? But Coop's running guys into Benito. Coop's fine. Coop's more than fine. The VJ thing, well, that's a whole other bag of conversations.
I want to, is there any way you can do some asking about Tyler Bidet this week?
Sure.
Just when you're down there on Wednesday and Thursdays.
Yeah.
Just see if it's, hey, is it being talked about? Is it a conversation about his return? And just an update on
those
that
around.
is.
Yeah.
All right, let's find that out later on this week.